Welcome back. So in the previous session, we learned about the concept of the containers. Let's now go ahead and build some more concepts on top of it to understand Kubernetes better, as I said. Now, taking over from the scenario in the previous session itself, let's say you've developed your code, it is, you've containerized it, it's working and, tested very well in the SIT environment. Now you have to move it to production so that your actual users can access it. You move the container to the production. It is running fine and successfully over there, and your users are able to access it. All is good. Let's say after some time, as it happens in the real world scenario, your user comes back to you and says that, hey, you know what? We were up till now we were fine with this application not being available on and off intermittently in between, but now we want a 24/7 kind of availability, 99.99 whatever that percentage, that kind of availability. All right, you say okay, no problem, I will make those changes in my production. You go back to your operations team says okay, we will make multiple copies of your container, put some kind of load balancer, and even if one of the container goes down at some point of time, you have the other containers available, and there's a highly likely chance that your users are going to get a 24/7 availability of your application. The important point to note over here is that your operations team has to do this manually. Another fact of the real world is that the user requirements keep changing all the time, right? So let's say again tomorrow your user comes back and say, hey, you know what? Up till now, the number of users who were accessing this application was about, say, a couple of thousands. Now the number of users have increased for whatever reason, right? They have become a million. Again, you will go back and make those changes manually. And this keeps going on and on. As I said, the important point is you have to put manual effort and consistently put that effort in even monitoring those systems. This is where the concept of container orchestration software comes into picture, right? If instead of you, there is some software which is doing this, and you are just providing, some configuration in some way, what you do is you offload the manual effort to a software, and then it becomes very easy and convenient for you. So this is the concept of container orchestration, where a software automatically manages the changing requirements with least amount of efforts from your end. The changing requirements of your clients with least amount of efforts from your end. Now let's go ahead and understand this a little formally. There are many container orchestration software available. Kubernetes is one of the popular ones. So, but there are others as well. There is OpenShift from Redshift, which is also very popular. There is Mesos, as I might have mentioned in my previous sessions. But Kubernetes remains a software which is very, very popular. So let's go ahead and understand it. What is Kubernetes? Kubernetes is a portable means it can be run on any kind of environment, right? Extensible, you can customize it as according to your requirement. It is open source by cloud native organization, and it manages your containerized workload, right? And services, the code that you would have written, and it's running in production. And it does it in such a way that you can do this in a declarative and an automative fashion. You don't have to put the manual efforts around it. It's very popular. It is a huge ecosystem at this point of time, and growing quite consistently, quite frequently. There's a huge amount of services, support, and tools available in the market at this point of time. Almost every cloud provider that you would have heard of, like Amazon, AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and even your DigitalOcean, which we'll be using for this session, provide some managed Kubernetes environment. What do you mean by that? The meaning of that is they have already set up a cluster. Maybe with a click of a button or some configuration, you can get your entire cluster get started and you can deploy your code. Within a matter of, I would say, hours. The name Kubernetes originates from a Greek word which means helpsman or pilot. Not very surprisingly, it is developed by Google in 2014, and they actually made it public after years of testing and using in production environment, about 15 years at that. And last but not the least, it is based on all the best of the breed, best practices that Google might have built up over a period of time and also from the community. Google has incorporated that. So that, my dear friends, is Kubernetes. I think that should be it about this session. In the next session, we will come back and learn a few more components of Kubernetes, like pod, like replica set, and so on. So see you next time. Thank you.